others. I'm really honored to be up here representing the health communication graduates to all of you today. All right, here are my goals for the speech. I want to review the past few years, talk about some lessons learned, and try to keep you all from falling asleep in your seats. So, of course, like any good health communicator, I started by doing some audience research. I emailed a survey to a not very randomized sample of friends and coworkers, asking about their ideal commencement speech. I didn't have time to submit this questionnaire to the Institutional Review Board, so you probably won't see these in any journal, but I'll share the findings with you anyway. First, my respondents asked me to be brief, although it was hard to pin down exactly what they meant by that. About 50% said 3 to 5 minutes, 12% said 10 words or less. But this is the problem with having a small sample size, because that was like one person. When I asked what the topic of the speech should be, a quarter of the respondents said they wanted to hear about great memories from the past few years. So, you 25%, listen up, here it is. First, remember orientation when we went out for dim sum in Chinatown? I thought that was an auspicious start to our graduate journey because it was delicious. And then in 2009, they renovated the Sackler building and added a cafe to the 4th floor, so we didn't have to go all the way to Avant-Pan to get coffee before class. That was also a good day. And then there was a PHPD Awards dinner at the Marriott, which I hope you remember because that was 3 days ago. And the desserts were delicious and nutritious, I'm sure. Okay, I don't know why all my memories were about food. I think speaking in public makes me hungry. Okay, another 25% of survey takers said they wanted to hear about the bright future ahead for the graduates. So here's the outlook. As of today, you have a master's degree on your resume, you've stopped accumulating grad school debt for the moment, and you never have to do homework again if you don't want to. And I would say that that is a pretty good outlook, right? Okay, 12% of survey takers said they wanted to hear about how talented the graduates are. I'll make this one brief since only an eighth of you want to hear it. Tufts health communication graduates go on to work everywhere from the NIH, the CDC, to MGH and ABC News, and I'm sure that each of you will go on to work somewhere with an equally impressive acronym. The last eighth of my respondents wanted to hear about waffles, which I admit is a bit unorthodox for a commencement speech, but I've learned not to ignore my target audience. So here it is. Waffles can actually be quite nutritious if you make them with whole wheat flour. But if you slather them with butter and syrup, they're not so good. That's health communication. All right, now we've come to the part where it's traditional to dispense some advice for the graduates. I don't have a whole lot of personal wisdom to share. So luckily, I asked my respondents for some of their favorite commencement speakers, so I could have them do the talking instead, and I have a few quotes to share. The first is from Bill Gates, founder of Microsoft, probably heard of him, and a philanthropist who established the Gates Foundation in the 1990s to enhance healthcare and reduce extreme poverty. When he gave the commencement speech to the graduating class at Harvard a few years ago, he said, "Humanity's greatest advances are not in its discoveries, but in how those discoveries are applied to reduce inequity. Whether through democracy, strong public education, broad economic opportunity, or quality healthcare, reducing inequity is the highest human achievement." Okay, next we have folk singer and labor organizer Utah Phillips, who devoted his life to advancing the rights of workers and other social justice causes. This is what he had to say about his outlook on the future. "Every city, every town I go to, for the past 40 years, big or little, I've found cooperative child daycare, an organic food store, alternative medicine services, all these interventions that didn't even exist when I was in high school, anywhere, and now they're everywhere I go. Taken together, that is a massive amount of energy, a tremendous amount of energy. And that's why I'm so optimistic about the future. There are too many people doing too many good things to afford me the luxury of being pessimistic." And finally, actress and talk show host Ellen DeGeneres, addressing the so-called Katrina class of Tulane in 2009, offered the following advice to the graduates. "Follow your passion and stay true to yourself. Never follow anyone else's path. Unless you're lost in the woods and you see a path, and then you should follow that." Thank you, and congratulations to my fellow graduates. I'm sure you'll all find your path.
now to introduce Ms. Amanda Bernius,